It's a very surreal experience. As gunship pilots in Somalia, we got the intel that there was somebody going to be someplace that we needed to go get, and the easy missions are over and done with. We got the call to go. We were flying around the city. Everything was going like clockwork until the bullets started flying. And early on, most of us had written ourselves off. There were times when rocket-propelled grenades went inches from the cockpit. I could smell the smoke off their motors. We had 5 radios in our aircraft, and every one of them was just ablaze. Everybody was screaming, you know, we need help, we need this. This helicopter's getting hit, go here, do that. It's a very surreal experience. I was kind of scared. What's going to happen? We all kind of said, okay, well, we're not going to live through this. And after that, we found that it was a very freeing attitude to have. We found that we were able to do the things that we needed to do that saved people's lives on the ground at a risk to ours. Death in combat is different than a normal natural death. My mom, we figured out that she was sick and what her problem was, and 6 months later she died. You know, I could see it unfolding before me, whereas in combat it's there. I mean, it's sudden, it's brief, and then you kind of wrestle through it. With Mom and Dad, you see the day by day change, weakening, having more difficulty doing the normal stuff. At least I was able to be there for her to help her through that. Probably the hardest thing I had to do, though, was to tell her that she was dying. She had pulmonary fibrosis, no cause that we could figure out. Her lungs just started getting so stiff that they wouldn't provide any respiration. Well, Dad was going through his grieving process, and I was able to stay busy with him, making him go to doctor's visits and doing this and doing that. And then this last February, he got sick. And, you know, first it was a strep septicemia, you know, a blood-borne infection, systemic to his entire body. And we got him in the hospital. They put him on antibiotics intravenously, and he seemed to be responding. He then developed pneumonia, strep pneumonia, which is not easy to cure. And he went from talking, eating a normal diet, to within 30 minutes being in ICU, on a ventilator, intubated, you know, completely out. The pneumonia and septicemia had compromised his body's ability to get oxygen. Well, see, there was something I could do about that. There is, oftentimes in civilian life, there is a cure. Even though it was very serious, it was something that we could do something about. In combat, there's very little you can do things about. Now with Dad, the struggle is, how do I make the remainder of his life as pain-free and comfortable as I can? He's not lucid all the time, but he's happy in his own little world. I'm not going to turn my back on him. And that's what keeps me going.